The effect is pretty dramatic already, even though there is still Louisiana seafood being harvested from our waters safely, and that is safe and good to eat. What I am hearing, not just from local chefs, but from chefs around the country, that seafood in general is experiencing an enormous pushback. As people are watching this situation in the Gulf, they're becoming more and more concerned about the general safety of seafood. But what's happening here locally is that a lot of our really great chefs are being forced to think outside the box. Frank Brightston has scallops and squid on his menu for the very first time. Tori McPhail at Commander's Palace actually came out with a summertime menu that didn't have finfish on the lunch menu. This was about a month ago. There was a lot of crab with tarballs coming into Lake Pontchartrain as of yesterday. I don't know what the long-term prognosis is going to be for our lake seafood, and that's the thing that's got me so personally devastated. I kept thinking, if we just can hang on to the lake, we'll be okay. But it looks like the lake isn't going to be so safe either. It is definitely testing their creativity, and you know, I admire Tori for putting such a positive spin on it, because he has been a real positive voice in how the food in New Orleans is going to continue to be delicious, because we've got one of the greatest talent pools of any city. And the truth is, if you look back in time, a lot of the dishes that have become part of our local food didn't exist until the 20th century, a lot of it. This is one of my favorite stories that I wish Antoine's would grab and run with, and that is the way we started eating baked oyster dishes here in New Orleans has to do with at the beginning of the 20th century, when, you know, the very French New Orleanians loved their snails. That was part of their French heritage. And there was a year when there was a French snail shortage. And that was the year that they began strongly calling on the local oyster to perform the job of the French snail. So I'm kind of thinking the snail may have to come back and do some time for our local oysters.